Welcome to the greatest cooking show on YouTube. Today we're making turkey, cranberry sauce, gravy, and stuffing, an all-inclusive guide on what you need for the perfect Thanksgiving. Where else can you find this type of content besides with Balbe? Let's get started.
せーのでもそんなんじゃダメもうそんなんじゃほら心は進化するよもっともっと
Alright, we're starting with the stuffing. Here we got some short grain sweet rice. This is the ideal rice you want to use. Give that a quick rinse, and then we're going to measure out 1.5 cups of water to match that inside the rice cooker. Perfecto, and that goes straight into the rice cooker. And just let that cook in the meantime while we continue the next step. For the sake of video though, this is what it's going to look like when it's done. Okay, let's move on. To the cutting board, let us do some dicing. First, peel the carrots. Peel the celery as well. Now with the carrots, you want to just cut these nice thin cards diagonally. Flatten them out right next to each other and then cut strips. And dice to your size of choosing. You can definitely cut it a little bit bigger than this. To the celery, we're going to cut strips diagonally, just like this. And same thing with the carrots, just dice it. Keep it at a relatively same size. Easy peasy onion dicing, just chop down to the side and dice downwards. Chop, chop, chop it up. Chinese sausage, and this is the key ingredient, so you gotta get your hands on these for sure. And just dice away. We got the celery and carrot, the onions, and our sausages organized and ready to be cooked to their full potential. Drizzle some oil in a big hot pan. I'm just using a wok here because I have it. Sausages first and onions to follow. I'm just gonna cook these real quickly until they brown and start to kind of caramelize. Just like this, and then we're gonna throw in the rest of the vegetables. Stir that baby up. And we'll just be cooking this on a high heat for about 4 to 5 minutes. And then we're going to add in our spices. Keep it relatively simple with some salt, 5 spice, and black pepper. Also a good dash of oyster sauce as well. Mix that up beautifully together and cook for about 1 final minute. Then into a big mixing bowl it goes. Follow that up with our rice now. Plop it straight on top. And a whole box of chicken stock. And we're actually going to be adding this in increments while mixing everything together. Just keep on pouring, keep on mixing, making sure that everything kind of absorbs the chicken stock evenly. In with our seasoned stuffing, as well as a little bit of dry basil just to taste, and our final splash of chicken stock. Then integrate it all together, making sure everything is well combined. And it should be pretty liquidy, exactly like you see here. You can add more chicken stock if you think you need it. And that's about it for the stuffing. And you can make this the night prior to the turkey just to save some time. You can also bake and eat this by itself if you feel like munching on some stuffing. So here we got our beautiful lady, and we're gonna make sure she is nice and cleaned. We're gonna start by spreading the wings out just like this, and also flipping it over and taking the legs out of the booty. Just get it out there. And stretch it as well. Nice stretching. Make sure you check the inside for any objects that may be hidden in there. Then clean out the back cavity. Give it a nice wash. And then we're going to take this turkey booty and push it straight out like this. And then in between that skin where you just push it out from, there's going to be lots of fat on the inside. So make sure you clean most, if not all of that out. And now we're going to do a flip and a turn, and here we have the neck area. Stretch that skin all the way out and clean out all that fat and tubbiness. A nice and clean frontal cavity just like this, and bring her to the cutting board. Lay her straight on top, make sure she's comfortable, and then we're going to do some intense paper towel therapy. Making sure we get this bird as dry as possible in between the wings and legs, and also inside the cavity. Everything needs to be very dry. And now it's time to separate the skin from the turkey just using your hands. It's actually pretty easy. You can kind of feel the sinews being cut away with your fingers. It's pretty satisfying, honestly. So flip the turkey over and give it a final paper towel patting. Well done. Now let's make our butter mix. Get a good heaping amount of butter and melt that real quickly in the microwave. You don't need it too melty. Now we can throw in our splendid spices with some salt and pepper, good heaping amount of garlic powder, And our dry herbs, you can also use fresh herbs if you have them. They both work very well. And just give that a nice little mixy. Infuse that all together to make this delectable butter mixture. And make sure it's still kind of thick too. Back to our big bird, we're gonna tuck in her wings real quickly beneath the breast meat, just like you see here. Now with that butter mixture, we're just gonna lather that all up in her, around her, every nook and cranny. No space goes unbuttered, okay? Except for the cavities though. No butter in the cavities. Everywhere else is fair game, top, bottom, side to side. Between the legs, between the wings, you get the idea. Now it's time to bring back our succulent stuffing and just stuff away. We're starting with the back cavity here. All the way. I want the stuffing oozing. Don't forget about that space in between the legs, we're stuffing that too. Fill her all the way up, both sides. Pat it down, making sure everything is nice and tight. Don't forget the booty, we gotta stuff the booty, and then we're gonna actually take that piece and push it back inside the cavity, and that will make sure the stuffing is locked together very securely. Yes. Flip the turkey because we can't forget about the front cavity. It's a lot smaller, but it still deserves some stuffing. So stuff it, then tuck the skin back inside. And now we're gonna pull the two legs upwards, and using some twine, we're gonna tie them together, and this will just make sure the turkey comes out looking like a beauty. Buttered up and stuffed up, she is ready to be roasted. Don't forget to cover it up loosely with some foil. You don't want it too tight or else it's just gonna rub the butter off, you know? And there she goes in the oven, and we're still going to do some babysitting because there are some crucial steps coming up, so don't go anywhere. First step up, we're 1 hour in, and we're going to rotate the turkey 180 degrees and then plop it straight back in. And by the way, the time may not be exact depending on the power of your oven and size of turkey. 2 hours in, the foil comes off, and we're going to start basting her with the juice from the bottom just like this about every 30 minutes or so. I forgot to mention you should probably add some chicken broth into the roasting pan just to make sure there's enough juice and hydration for the turkey. You're going to repeat this basting process about 3 or 4 times throughout this whole cooking process, so don't forget, once the internal temperature reaches 155 degrees, we're going to switch to a high broil for the last 30 minutes to ensure the most beautiful skin, just like you see here. Wow. Take a moment to relish the beauty of this Thanksgiving goddess. We're gonna arrange a bed of American parsley for our turkey to sit on, and she goes straight on top. Using 2 heavy-duty forks on each side will ensure you have a smooth transition. Final little basting on the top just to give it some shine and flavor, and she is done. And you can let her rest in foil for another 30 minutes as well. Here's all that leftover juice in our roasting pan, and we're going to use a fat separator and pour all that fragrant juice out to make the most mind-blowing gravy. In a saucepan, equal parts butter and flour on a medium heat, and we're just going to create a very quick roux. Never stop stirring and get it to a nice dark brown color just like this, and the turkey drippings go straight inside. You can do this in increments just to make sure that you get that consistency perfect. You want it a little bit thick, but not overwhelming. Cook for just about 4 to 5 minutes, and then we're going to add in really quick spices, just some salt and pepper to taste. It already has all of that turkey flavor in there, so we don't need to go overboard on anything else. And you can see it's slightly thick while being able to coat the spoon well. That is what we want. Pour that into your genie lamp, or any serving bowl, whatever you have is fine. And now a turkey carving tutorial outlining the first 3 key cuts. Downwards on the breast, hugging the spine. Then diagonally, following the wishbone. And finally a bottom cut to tie it all together. And now that piece is separated, you can cut upwards into nice thin slices, and that's exactly how you carve your turkey. Super crispy skin, super juicy interior. This turkey is just, you know? Bonus recipe, our essential cranberry sauce. My favorite way to eat turkey, and it's just so necessary for the best taste. The sweet and tartness of this sauce match the turkey flavor so well. And if you haven't noticed, we're just doing some quick dicing on some mangoes. I had a couple of leftover pineapples from making my ham, so I'm just adding that in as well. Optional, but if you have it, it tastes good. Dice it up. Cranberry, mango, pineapple, that's all we need. Into a saucepan, making sure the cranberries are on the bottom. Throw in some brown sugar with a little pinch of salt and just let that cook on a medium-high heat without stirring it at all. We're gonna wait until the cherries start to pop. And after that, just stir and simmer on a low heat for about 20 minutes. And once you get this nice cohesive paste, it's done. Everything is done. And time to finally feast. Our full-on Thanksgiving platter. We got our stuffing, our super juicy and delicious turkey with gravy on top, and that tart cranberry sauce. So, let's do this. Yeah, let's go for the stuffing. My goodness. Chinese style stuffing with Chinese sausages and 5-spice. You'll never have to make another stuffing again. It is incredible. It has such an intense flavor. Got sweet, salty, savory all combined into one delicious, mushy stuffing. And there's not enough good things I can say about this. This is always what my family usually crushes first thing. So, for a good reason. Turkey, turkey. We're going to do the gravy first. I know there's a good portion of people that don't like making turkey just because it's always so dry. Let me tell you, this is not dry. It tastes so juicy and tender, and that goes for both the dark and the white meat. And the trick is you gotta get that butter all up in there, inside the skin, outside the skin, inside the crevices, and you also just gotta make sure you're basting the turkey while it's cooking in the oven. These are so crucial. That's how you achieve this absolutely delicious, juicy turkey, okay? No more dry turkey ever. Ever. Next, turkey with cranberry sauce. Cranberry, mango, pineapple sauce in this case. So amazing. 100% necessary, honestly. There's a reason why I included this in the video is because the tartness of the cranberry sauce, it is literally just a match in heaven for this turkey. Like the flavors just are dancing in balance. 100% just... You gotta make it, okay? You gotta make it. It's like the easiest thing to make on this menu. It goes great with turkey, stuffing by itself, even with ham too. But your all-inclusive guide, turkey, stuffing, cranberry sauce, gravy, you're so welcome. So do me a favor if you enjoyed this video and subscribe, like, leave a comment. Why does nobody leave comments? Leave a comment, okay? That's it. Stay tuned.
ふわふわるふわふわりあなたが笑っているそれだけで